This is my own, my mind and my heart. This is church, where we bury the dead. These are my brothers.
I'm 7 years old, and I'm watching my father die through an immovable window of soundproof glass. Early in the morning, my father heads outside for a smoke. He sits on a stone bench and rolls a spliff. The sun has only begun to show, but he's already dressed and shaved. 2 diamonds like ice cubes melting sit in his earlobes. He sits with one foot up on the bench, eyes dark and heavy, staring into the distance. I'm peeking over the kitchen counter at him. My older brother, Junie, is 10. Yawning, still in his pajamas, he brushes against me on the way to the refrigerator. Junie returns to the counter with a jug of milk. What's Appa doing? Smoke, I say. Where? I point. Junie splashes milk into a bowl of cereal and shuffles off to eat in front of the television. He misses the beginning of the end of our lives. What moves me most about what happens next is my father's slowness, his stillness. When the man bars through the back gate, tear the wooden door off its hinges, and gather in front of the bench, Appa stays seated. He takes a last puff of his spliff, ashes it on the stone, and rises to greet them as if he were expecting them all along. The man in front points accusingly at my father. His mouth is a blur, and I can't make out his words. He moves to jab my father in the chest. Appa slaps his hands away. His eyes are unchanged. I love my father's face. His smooth, golden brown from the sun, proud nose and mouth in a permanent scowl. His eyebrows raise as the man continues his tirade. He just glances up at the sky. The man is swinging his hands upward and hopping. The other men are nervous. Some of their hands linger around their belts. I recognize some of them. The man is slapping his 2 hands together and leaning into my father. His teeth are huge and icy. His sunglasses slide off his sweaty face, and he pushes them back with his hands. Suddenly, my father is yelling. I can't hear his words, but I can feel the backyard fill with them. The muscles in his upraised arm begin to pop. A vein in his neck comes to life, surging with blood to his mouth, turning to speech. I push myself with 2 hands up on the counter. I still haven't called my brother. When my father finishes speaking, the trees stop swaying. The world holds its breath. Or maybe it's me. I can't breathe, and I can't move anything but my eyes. Then the world exhales, spins again, and the man spits on my father's left boot. Then my father hits the man in the face with 2 fists. The man's sunglasses shatter, and Appa catches him with an uppercut. The man swings back wildly, and for a moment the 2 men are molasses, amber setting. My father and the man who's come to kill him are 2 creatures fighting for air. History cools around him. My father's not big in stature, but he's all fists, arms, feet, and knees, kicking and stomping. Junie! My voice escapes my throat. Junie! My brother comes clambering into the kitchen. He's still holding the spoon. He looks once at my face and once at the window and runs screaming for the door, which he grabs and pulls until his knuckles whiten and crack. Ah! It's locked from the outside. It's our father's habit. I can see the keys dangling from the handle on the other side of the door. The men have begun to stomp my father, but he is unyielding, magical, resolute, like a bull and matador sword. The ones within his grasp he brings to the ground, but there are too many. Junie is throwing chairs at the window, dishes, pictures from the wall, not my mother's vase from the old country, shoes and the watermelon we were to eat at dinner. His shirt is torn from the effort, and his hands are raw and bleeding. His face is ragged from crying. He's drowning in his own cry. eyes. His voice sounds like a grown man. He's, My father has stopped moving. One of his eyes has been beaten out of his head, and the other rolls around his socket like a marble. The other man is a mess of blood and dirt. His face is unrecognizable. He holds a small gun at an exaggerated angle and squeezes two into my father's ruined body. Two-bit gangster in a silent movie. Junie slumps to the floor. The world is so small. I can fold it in my lap. My father's dead. No one knows where my mother is. I just need to say. I was 7 years old. Just standing at the kitchen counter. Sorry. Because now, I'm telling the story to you. Yeah? Okay. Maybe was 13, and he was standing on a corner where the fools never sleep. Now, he's praying in an empty church with a voice he borrowed from a ghost. Men. Oh, he's just a year old. He was a baby. He was sleeping upstairs in a crib carved from my mother's dreams. Now, he's good. He's sitting in the church pew. He's wearing his first suit. So good. But he's staring up at a heaven only he can see. Junie was 10 years old. He's banging on his door. And it never opened. So is he? Now he's gone. Yeah. If you see him, he must be one of us.